I saw the most terrifying thing through the peephole. The neighbor across the hall was taken out right there by the mob. A chill ran down my spine. Then, a woman screamed next door. It was followed by the sound of things being smashed. I turned and saw my daughter curled up in the corner. The despair nearly took my breath away. That was when the door handle started shaking violently. I didn't dare move. I pressed my whole body against the door. I waved frantically for my daughter to hide. The mob banged on the door a few times and then left. I still didn't let my guard down. I dragged the sofa over to block the door. Then my husband came back with our older daughter. We ran toward the rooftop. On the way up, our little girl dropped her toy. She screamed and tried to pick it up. The mob heard her. Gunfire rang out. We ran through the chaos, through the fire escape, past bodies lying still on the ground. We made it to the roof, but the door was locked. My husband shouted outside that he was American. The door finally opened. A crowd had gathered on the rooftop. I felt a brief moment of relief. Then my heart sank. The streets were filled with mobs. They were shouting to take everyone out. We had no idea what to do. Then a helicopter appeared in the distance. Everyone thought it was rescue and waved and cheered. The helicopter turned around. Suddenly, it opened fire on us. The rooftop fell into complete chaos. Survivors dropped one by one. My husband pulled me and the kids into a blind spot. The helicopter circled the building. It wanted to finish us all, but it got tangled in the power lines. It lost balance and crashed into the roof. An explosion followed. We hid behind a pillar and survived, but it wasn't over. Another wave of attackers came up the fire escape. There was nowhere left to run. My husband told me to jump to the next building. I looked at the gap and wanted to refuse.
Listen to me! We don't have a choice. Please, we don't have a choice. How? You're gonna jump first, and I'm gonna throw the kids over one at a time. Then I'm gonna follow, okay?
But for my kids, I had to try. The moment I jumped, I froze.
I can't.
Yes, you can!
The mob was clearing out the survivors. They were getting closer. I gathered my courage again. I took a deep breath and I made the jump.